This is VOA News. Reporting by remote, I'm David Byrd. The search and rescue mission at a collapsed Florida condominium has been suspended as a crew prepares for the demolition of the remainder of the building. Fire officials told family members rescuers stopped their search about 4 p.m. Saturday when demolition crews began boring holes into the concrete of the still-standing portion of the Champlain Towers South in Surfside. Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett said removing it will actually help rescue workers.
That will allow our rescue workers to pour all over the entire site without fear of any danger from falling debris or falling buildings.
Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava said Saturday that 2 more bodies were found in the rubble, bringing the number of confirmed dead to 24. The number of people who remain unaccounted for in the collapse was 124. No one has been found alive in the rubble of the building since the first hours after its collapse last week. Hurricane Elsa fell back to a tropical storm but is churning its way toward Florida. AP's Mike Hempen reports.
Elsa has passed Haiti and the Dominican Republic and threatens to unleash flooding and landslides. It had been a Category 1 hurricane early Saturday, but weakened as it approached Cuba. National Hurricane Center specialist Andy Latto says the storm should reach Florida by Monday.
Crossing Cuba Sunday night into Monday. And at that point, it'll be approaching somewhere maybe towards the Florida Keys.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says the state will be ready.
We're preparing for the risk of isolated tornadoes, storm surge, heavy rainfall, and flash flooding.
Forecasters expect Elsa to still be a tropical storm when it reaches Florida. However, some models show it heading into the Gulf or up the Atlantic coast. I'm Mike Hempen.
This is VOA News. Protests against President Jair Bolsonaro spread across Brazil on Saturday, one day after a Supreme Court justice authorized a criminal investigation into his response to allegations of political corruption involving a vaccine deal. Demonstrators gathered by the hundreds or thousands in more than 40 cities to demand Bolsonaro's impeachment or greater access to vaccines against COVID-19. The protests are the latest sign of mounting pressure on Bolsonaro, who has routinely dismissed the severity of COVID-19. In Friday's decision, Supreme Court Justice Rosa Weber said recent testimony in a Senate committee investigating the government's handling of the pandemic supports a criminal probe. Prosecutors will be looking into whether Bolsonaro committed the crime of prevarication, which entails delaying or refraining from action required as part of a public official's duty for reasons of personal interest. Government airstrikes and artillery fire in Syria's last rebel enclave have killed at least 8 people, many of them children, and destroyed a civil defense center and a water station. AP's Karen Chamas reports.
Men running for their lives as shelling strikes an area in southern Idlib. One white helmet first responder, also known as the Syria Civil Defense, tells everyone to get out of their homes and flee as the shelling continues. The shelling has been concentrated in southern Idlib province. Many homes were transformed into rubble as overnight shelling hit the home of Supi El-Asi, a health center administrator, killing him, his wife, and 3 of his children in their sleep. Shelling also struck the home of a volunteer for the White Helmets, killing his 2 children. In a nearby village, another child was killed and several others from the same family were wounded, according to the White Helmets. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said the shelling was followed by airstrikes by suspected Russian warplanes that hit areas west of Idlib city. I'm Karen Chamas.
Israeli defense officials were checking whether Iranian forces were behind a possible attack on a cargo ship under partial Israeli ownership Saturday on its way from Jeddah to the United Arab Emirates. Israeli television reported the crew were not hurt and the ship, possibly hit by a missile, was not badly damaged and continued on its journey after the incident. Israeli TV said the vessel, known as the Tyndall, was owned by Zodiac Maritime Limited, a London-headquartered international ship management company, which later said it did not own or manage the Tyndall. Visit voanews.com for more. Reporting by remote, I'm David Byrd, VOA News.